Hey everyone, alright, so you have got me on the floor today because my phone needs to be on the charge. But so I'm just checking in to do the 16-week check-in. But yeah, so everything's been pretty straightforward the last week. Haven't done too much out of the ordinary. Everything's been going pretty good. Still no morning sickness, still training 4 times a week. And actually, last week I think I didn't do one session because on the Sunday I was on the Sunday I actually ended up spending quite a bit of time with Brendan in the nursery setting up what we're doing in there. It felt a little bit kind of premature, I suppose, or feels a little bit like that because we're only just starting to show now as well. But the key for us was trying to get me while I still had heaps of energy. But yeah, so that's what we did on Sunday. So I also just we will put photos up of the nursery at some point, but I also just wanted to give you guys a little bit of information in case you were looking for like something like that for yourselves, because obviously there are places like Farmers and there's Baby City and all that sort of stuff that you can get all your nursery stuff from, but it comes with a massive price tag. But so anyway, we got our cot, which came with a mattress and also the change table, which was like two drawers that you could like pull open, and like two separate kind of sides that were totally open so you could see into them, with the change table that came on top with the change mat and cover. That combination cost us $500 for all of that. So a lot of the time we were looking at cots and stuff like that, they were around like 1,200 minimum just for the cot. So we managed to get the cot and the change table for the same price. The change table was a bit of a mission to put together, but yeah, that was okay. The cot was easy as to put together, and it comes in a little package like that Mocka does. So Mocka, Mocka.co.nz. But yeah, they're really good. We've used their products before, and then it would just so happen we got an email about their nursery stuff going live a couple of months ago, and thought it would be perfect. But yeah, so all the wood is New Zealand pine. It's all non-toxic paint and all that sort of stuff as well. So don't have to worry about there being anything toxic there for baby as well, because that's something that we're massive about. Obviously, is trying to minimize as much of that load as possible. But yeah, so that's most of the room anyway, because we've got a bassinet which we got from Farmers. We had gotten a cheaper one from Kmart, which would have done fine. It was pretty sturdy, and like a couple $100 cheaper for virtually the same thing that you were going to get from Baby City. But then we ended up, Brennan was actually talking to one of his clients who's got a couple of kids, and he said that you would want one that the one side can drop down so it goes level with the bed to make it easier for getting baby out, putting baby on mum, and then putting it back in again, not having to get out of bed to do it, which we both decided was going to be a way better idea, a lot more convenient, a lot less disruptive as well. So, yeah, for the sake of us going and spending an extra $100 from what we were going to with the Kmart one on special at Farmers, yeah, we got a really good like side dropping one, so that was cool. And much to our surprise as well, there was three safety what do you call them? Safety latches that kind of attach from the bassinet onto the bed, so you really do lock it in beside you, which means it's not going to move away or anything, which was really handy. But yeah, so there are our three big items that we've got in there at the moment. And in terms of what else we're wanting to put in, we're potentially looking at putting in like a single bed or something like that, just in case, one of us ends up in there trying to get the baby to go to sleep and tired and just flops there, or, lays down with baby there for a little while to get them to sleep. Just having that option there. I mean, we are lucky enough that our room's literally right next door, so it's not going to be much of an issue in terms of how far we'd have to walk, but I suppose at least that way the person that's up with the baby can go sleep there and not have to wake the other person up that's trying to get some sleep. So yeah, apart from that, we'll probably just try and keep it nice and not very cluttered, because we want to still be able to pace back and forward in there, and don't want it to feel like a really cluttered, stressful environment for baby either. So yeah, and yeah, I suppose that's kind of the biggest thing that we did. The other thing too is that we put up a post last week, and we had been looking more into reading books, research online, that sort of stuff, from various studies about the vaccinations that we've got coming up too. So there is one coming up for me during pregnancy. That's a flu injection, and no, without a doubt, we won't be doing that. We don't do flu jabs for ourselves anyway. Our health is really good. We supplement with natural vitamins and minerals. A lot of them have been taken out now because of being pregnant, but the ones that I can continue to take safely, I do, like a probiotic, like magnesium, like omegas, the prenatal, all those sorts of things are really helpful. But yeah, and also baby being it'll be born in winter, but being pregnant through summer, I'm very unlikely to get sick. So yeah, it just seemed like an unnecessary toxic load that we didn't need to put on the body. So that one, and the only other one that we are aware of so far that happens in pregnancy is getting your first lot of whooping cough vaccinations. So this is something we're looking into at the moment. Where we're at with our research so far is the studies are showing that the vaccinations during pregnancy for the whooping cough, the idea is to make mum immune to whooping cough, which hopefully then passes down to baby becoming immune as well. There's very little research that that's actually what happens. There is also some research that's been done saying that if you're vaccinated during pregnancy, that the vaccinations that the baby has once they're born, the couple that they have for the whooping cough, aren't actually as effective. So that's something that we're definitely thinking about. Sorry, my arm's going dead. But yeah, so we put up a post about this, and I was really impressed actually. We both were with the response that we got from our clients. Not only were people thinking about the vaccinations, because a lot of people don't, because they're free, so why wouldn't you just get them? And they tell you that they're doing all these great things. But a lot of our clients had been doing research into what the vaccinations were actually for and making decisions consciously, which we were really impressed with. The other thing too is a lot of our clients are at 30s, 40s, and they've already had kids, and a lot of the research that we're now looking into now wasn't actually out then. So we had that benefit, I suppose, of understanding a little bit more about the vaccinations. The thing I wanted to highlight too is because a lot of parents have talked to us about the vaccinations, and there have been studies done on specific vaccines saying that they were causing issues, and then the statements have been retracted. The thing that we are looking at more so isn't it's the vaccination itself or the thing they're infecting you with as such. It's more so related to the toxic load that's in the vaccinations. So a lot of the vaccinations that you have available to us will have things like aluminium or mercury, things like that bound to it to help make the vaccination actually more effective. It's those things that baby can't actually tolerate and get out of their system very well. Especially if you've got, if you've got specific types of babies as well. Not everyone's going to deal with things the same way. Some will deal with it fine. Others will end up dealing with it very differently and can get, things like autism, more likely for things like that to happen. But yeah, so it's definitely something that we're looking into a lot more. We haven't decided on anything yet, but I would be surprised at this point if we end up vaccinating it all during pregnancy. But yeah, who knows? And I suppose the last thing as well is that I don't think we've mentioned it on the videos yet, but we are seriously looking at and pretty much decided in the last couple of days that we will be having a home birth. It's really important to us to try and have as little medical intervention as possible. I know that sometimes it's taken out of our hands, and I'm totally fine with that if it's the life of baby or me that may be at risk. But otherwise, I want to try and have as natural a birth as we can. Being at home, I'm going to be more comfortable, in our own space, which and not feel rushed as well, because the other thing we've got to remember is that so many babies are born every day now, and there's only so many birthing units, so they can sometimes rush the process along in order to get you out so that they can get the next person in, sort of thing. And it might not be the best thing for baby or for you, so that's definitely something that we're looking into at the moment. We'll be talking to our midwife a little bit more about in the upcoming weeks, which I'm really looking forward to. But otherwise, just doing our own research into what we need for that and how to best prepare for it. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at the moment. yeah, I also put up a video because I have an appointment with Emma from Full Circle Physiotherapy. Basically, we're going to look at my pelvic health and see how that's looking. I have had a little bit of issues with, yeah, I suppose like real minor incontinence, so like a little bit of leakage when I'm sneezing and coughing and stuff like that previously, not just now. This is something that I really want to try and work on, make sure that my pelvic floor isn't that I'm able to use my pelvic floor properly because that will help through labour as well. So, yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, other than that, have a good week and we'll see you next time.